Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BARCastTV and to another episode of Roast My Replay. It's May 4th, 2023. We're going to take a look and examine a replay between myself and Tag Rock and see what went wrong in the replay and what mistakes I made and could improve upon for future games. So this is a pretty long macro game played on Comet Catcher, and I think there's a lot we can learn together. So let's go ahead and get into the replay. I'll unpause the game, and I'm going to try something a little bit different today. We're going to start off on 2x speed perhaps, and then also turn on spectator chat. I typically have this off in my games, and I just want to note that I think Mighty Sheep showed up at one point and was roasting me in the chat, so hopefully we can take a look and see what these other players are commenting on, and if there's anything we can learn from their comments. So really want to know like where I fell behind. I have some ideas and inclinations, of course. Just know I ended up losing like a lot of mexes to some of these like counter attacks on the north and south side. I think I chose some of the wrong units to produce, and I counter attacked in a really bad way. Really threw away some units here in the game. So hopefully you all can learn from my mistakes so you end up not making them. I will say that I'll try and comment on what everyone's saying here. I just want to like say my own thoughts here. I really don't have much experience in these kind of later 1v1 matches. I've only played a couple of 1v1s that have gone past 25-30 minutes into the game, so this is uncharted territory perhaps for myself, or something I'm really not comfortable playing with, or I'm not sure the ins and outs of playing this like late game once we get past T2 or in this really thick of these T2 phase of the game. So yeah, so I think some of these commenters are commenting on my unit positioning here because they know exactly what I'm going to do on this map, which is something I've published. If y'all are interested in learning a vehicle open on Comet Catcher, be sure to check out my channel. I have one from Randy here, and I think this is a great vehicle open, so let me clear this board for now. Yeah, this is definitely something I pirated off of Randy here, so including down to these solar collector walls. And if y'all like these kind of replay analysis, go ahead and let me know in the comment section, like, subscribe if you will, and I'll be posting daily videos on high-level 1v1 bar matches, and hopefully some more of these Roast My Replay episodes. I don't think they do quite as well as some of my other replays, but I do this more for myself, honestly. I'm really looking to improve, and hopefully y'all can come along on this journey. Mighty Sheep, I paused the replay to read what's going on here in the chat. Zlo's commenting on he turns off solar. These like typically players will have one construction vehicle or construction bot adding on solar collectors, and he'll turn this priority off, which is in this command card down here. It's actually an interesting comment and something I will have to think about more. It seems pretty strong, especially in this point of the game. Like I think I could have optimized my open a little bit better. There's a couple points where I've been stalling on mass, and just having that little adjustment could improve the balance between mass and power income. As you can see, I've got a full energy bar and I've got a decent power income. There's no deficit here right away, so could definitely incorporate that into my play. And I think what's so fun about this stupid map is Mighty Sheep saying, I'm not really sure. This map is a little overplayed in my opinion, and there's plenty of great 1v1 maps to choose from. So we'll have to, if y'all are hosting lobbies on this map, please consider changing to like Heartbreak Ridge. I'd like to see more matches on that map. It's pretty cool. A really good, well-designed map, I'd say. Not that I'm biased or anything like that. You know. Not with the way everyone plays. Yeah, so I just want to take a look at what Rock's doing over here. He's got a pretty similar setup, and I don't think we're too far behind on our build orders, and it looks like I've actually kind of optimized this a little bit better than him, but just up by about 500 mass. Not the biggest deal. We're just 6 minutes into the game, and I have my second factory well underway. So we can see, I'll stop trying to zoom out so fast for you. So I've got my second factory already done, so I'm pretty happy about that. I will note that he's got maybe a little bit extra build power in the base. He's got just one of these construction vehicles adding on solar collectors and has 2 construction vehicles assisting his factory. So I guess I have a little more assisting here coming out of land factory. This is something I've been experimenting with, just doing like a 5 stout to 1 Janus, 1 construction vehicle on repeat coming out of the factory. Really been trying to incorporate this Janus with the medium tank into my Tech 1 unit composition, and it's just a great unit all around. So hopefully we can demonstrate for y'all how great that unit is, and I think this is a decent idea. If y'all have any suggestions or comments on anything I say in this video, please leave a comment for me. I'd really like to improve or learn what I'm doing wrong in this matchup or in this game for that matter. So thank you all. I mean, we've got, so I don't want to, this is a very long game, so some of these harassments and engagements I'll play zoomed out, but one thing I also want to note is coming out of this bot lab here, I just use this to produce the res bots and these maces, and as I need them, I'll come back and put these Lazarus in front of the queue. Not sure if this is the optimal unit. This mace is the best unit to be producing out of this forward factory at this stage in the game, but it's just something I feel comfortable doing. It's a heavy, tanky unit, and great for dealing with these kind of LLT Forest 2C players using on this map. We have a little bit of engagement here on the bottom side of the map. Nothing to worry about. I shooed that away. Looks like Rock was able to get a nice little raid in here. This is so frustrating to deal with, honestly. Raiding on this map can be difficult to stop, and something I've actually, I think, commented on my previous videos would just be like putting up some walls here or using walls more often. I don't see players doing that so much. How can I get this? Yeah, so like putting a wall here, putting up a wall right there even. So sorry for scrolling in and out. Of course, putting a wall here. So I think that's something I could improve on. I'm not sure if y'all use walls or if you think they're underused in this game, but definitely something we see more of in like FAF, for example, and I think I could definitely use that to improve my game. So take a look back at statistics. Relatively even here, 10 minutes into the game. Nothing really to worry about. Kind of approaching this split map scenario, and perhaps I could have been a little bit better at raiding or trying to get some counter damage done up until this point, but really I'd rather just focus on securing my half of the map and preventing raiding from getting done. So not sure if that is the best strategy to incorporate, but it worked for me. It worked for me. It's been working for me, I'd say, in this game. So definitely let me know what you all think is the best way to play on this map, whether it's kind of like focusing on harassing or raiding in the early game. And if y'all notice something I don't catch, please let me know. Still relatively even on the stats here. So Mighty Sheep's calling out, don't know why I'm wasting metal on maces. The first real mistake. So let's see, I'm gonna pause. Double vehicle, one bot. So I'm not sure. I wonder if he comments, you want bot for res bots. Well, you want resers eventually. Unfug-assing, why do you want bot for res? Well, they're insane. Super value unit. They can reclaim. I like to reclaim contested reclaim fields and not focus on resing so much, but we end up getting a rather large reclaim up here in this top left side of the map, and I ended up using those to reclaim some of these units. So nothing really to note so far. I'm not really terribly far behind. I'm actually a 200 metal up here, 13 minutes into the game. I've got a good eye on stopping this counter attack here, and I think this is kind of like the first real advantage I end up taking in this game. I end up cleaning up this army here. Let me unpause the replay, clear the board, so we can see. End up cleaning up this run by here in the top side of the map and using these res bots to, I think, resurrect these units here. So it's really, don't have to worry about reclaiming anything, or sorry, losing these res bots in this top left corner. So I feel real comfortable. So yeah, and they're commenting, just these guys in the channel are just reclaiming, commenting on this reclaim here in the top left side. And Mechami's is saying res bots are for sure OP. I would have to agree. they're not OP. It's just like something, a really strong mechanic you have to be willing to use in this game is the fact that units actually leave reclaim. Thanks for that, Mighty Sheep. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so really this is something I kind of picked up from Ragna. It's just kind of this really heavy LLT style here on, especially in the middle of the map, kind of preventing these direct attacks. They can kind of slow down pushes while you can get units in position. And I think what that ends up shooting me in the foot here is that forces Rock to counterattack, which I'm not so, I wasn't so diligent about stopping, right? I end up losing a lot of mexes, especially in the later part of the game, and even as I make these T2 mexes, it's something I just lose so much of my economy here in the game, so... This is the advantage of... So Mighty Sheep, I think he's saying this is the advantage of being Oh, okay, he's commenting on this reclaim, how it's like, you don't necessarily have to attack, and really this game's a lot different than other RTSs because there's an infinite amount of... The two big things is like, there's an infinite amount of resources, you can't run out of minerals or Vespene gas or anything like that, and your units leave mass on the battlefield when they're destroyed, so depending on when and where you take engagements, you can actually be donating mass to your opponent, and it's like this weird, like, how do I attack, or when do I attack, or what is the purpose behind this? And you have to be really smart about not donating mass to your opponent. You either have to trade efficiently, take out a large amount of economy, or just even kind of back away. So this is one of the critical mistakes I end up making in this replay, is attacking too far into Rock's territory, losing the entire army, and he's able to counterattack and reclaim all those units. So yeah, so Mighty Sheep saying, commenting on my radar coverage in the south kind of sucks. I definitely would agree with him. I just have this one radar here in the middle. I have another one here on the top side of the map, and that's definitely something I'm lacking, is radar coverage here on the bottom. So would have been able to spot this run by here on the south side of the map and really deflect this. But I think take things up. Bull's gonna bull. Yeah, so this is something I've been kind of trying to work on in my own games. Mighty Sheep was commenting on the fact that I was able to split these units up here on the south side of the map. I don't want to comment too much on something I'll do good, air quotes, but it's just something to be aware of, that if units end up getting past your own, it can be very difficult to, like, stop them from continuing to move forward in your base, right? You're trying to catch up with them, and they're just kind of moving and shooting, rolling through your territory, just destroying everything. So it's like, if units end up getting past you, it can be better to kind of try and get in front of them with... It can be better to kind of try and get in front of them from another position on the map. So I noticed that these units kind of fell behind his army, so I split them in two, and then, knowing I can't catch up with them, and then tried to counterattack with the units that were behind his own. So hope that makes sense. I'll unpause the game. So really nothing too crazy going on. I'm trying to counterattack here on the bottom right side of the map, shave off these LLTs and metal extractors here. Take a look at the statistics. Pretty much dead even here on metal so far. And I'm wondering, I don't see the energy income here actually for both players. Yeah, Rock's sitting on about 1,800 a tick. I'm sitting about 1,200. And we've moved into the T2 stage in the game, right? So Rock sitting on an advanced vehicle plant has got a lot of power income. I'm sitting on an advanced vehicle plant myself, and we're starting to produce these T2 tanks, which absolutely crush T1 units. They have so much health. They can roll over LLTs and whatnot. And this is the part of the game where I think I start falling behind, or I'm not diligent enough with my unit positioning and my radar coverage, right? So I still have these two radars here in the middle of the map, but I haven't really placed one here on the top side, and I'm lacking one on the bottom of the map, and that's going to come into play later. And like, as I lose units and mexes and radars, I don't think I did a good enough of job of like putting these back up on the board. So You can see there's a couple big reclaim fields here in the middle of the map. There's one here about 2,300 mass, and then there's about 3,000 mass here sitting on my side. Our walls are really this useful. Okay, so Noya's commenting yes. Oh, this is interesting. So someone asked a question about the walls here. I'm looking to see. I just don't want to miss these messages. So Slow's saying maybe against scouts they're good. Mechamuse is saying it looks pretty. Yeah, I ended up leaving these units here in the. I mismicroed these units. I didn't pull them back, and I ended up losing a small portion of my army here to that beamer turret and some of these T2 units. So I think red wins. Base looks much nicer. Yeah, I can agree. I mean, everyone loves a nice SimCity. Great target for a bomber here. I'm not sure how many T1 bombers it actually takes to take out a solar collector. So something I've been avoiding doing on this map, just because I think like the real strength of these bombers, strengths of bombers are against taking out like maybe people who aren't good at, aren't not so good. It's more like spreading out their wind power, and you can get a lot of value out of just a few bombers by kind of sneaking up behind them. So I can take a look at the statistics. Dead even on that. We're sitting at about. See, I have 85 income per tick. He's at 130. I can't really tell actually. Sorry, I'm gonna pause this and just try and turn on the income in the bottom right so we can see the true income tick instead of seeing the reclaim. Is that in here somewhere? Interface. Sorry for this, y'all. I just want to see like what the income is per tick. I don't want to spend too much time on this menu. Oh, okay, never mind. 3,000 unspent is so bad. I think they're commenting on what I have this mass in the bank. And I am kind of producing like some T1 units. I still have these. Still have some T1 units coming out, and I have a lot of mass in the bank, and I'm trying to spend it here. I'm trying to put some build power into this T2 factory. And let me pause the game and just take a look at the army count. So it looks like Rock has got 5 bulls, 10 stouts, and Janus here in the middle. He's got 2 bulls on the bottom side of the map, and he's got 3 bulls and 2 tanks on the top side. Let me try and see what I have here. I don't have a lot of standing army actually, so I've got some T1 units here on the top side, just 2 bulls on the top, and I have 5 in the back trying to stop this run by here. So Rock was able to shave off a lot of these units. He's shaving off more units here in the center. Mighty Sheep commenting how. Okay, so we're slow to upgrade mexes and no mines. So perhaps as we enter this T2 phase, these mines become stronger. I'm not sure how well they're actually. I'm not sure how strong the mines are at dealing with T2 units, or suppose like how many mines it takes to kill a T2 unit. But definitely something I could be incorporating into my play is like putting mines here, here, putting minefields here, and that will let me kind of defend those lighter with units and focus more on contesting this middle part of the map, because as this game progresses we end up getting this huge reclaim field in the center, which I really struggled with, like either rezzing or like pulling that reclaim into my economy. So something I definitely struggled with. So thanks for that, Mighty Sheep, letting me know what to focus on. Mines are good for T2. Combat construction console OP. So console OP, what is that unit and where is it produced out of? I think that is the T1 mine layer out of the land factory. So I'll have to start incorporating that into my own play. Mines might be costing. So finally shooing away mines OP onto in T1, to be honest. That's why I never do that. No one ever uses them. So I'm able to shoo away this army on the bottom side, and I'm really slow to kind of reclaim this area. You see we've got a decent amount of reclaim here in the center. I shouldn't be saying reclaim. What I mean to say is like re-securing this area. So, I mean, there's like 3,000 mass right here. I don't have any radars on the bottom side. I just have this one here. I definitely could use another radar and sweeping back in, adding more recapping these mexes, adding LLTs, adding radars can definitely do a better job of doing that, and then kind of leaving units behind to defend this. Not sure. Don't know why I never do that. Trying to keep up with what everyone's saying here in the chat while he's spamming mace is so weird. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I think I just left this factory on repeat. They're definitely not good this stage in the game. Tick spam would actually be useful from that lab. Okay, so that's good to know. Ticks at this stage in the game would be better, and maybe he's right. I mean, I see a lot of undefended mexes on Rock's side of the map, and you really just have to have the APM to kind of find those and micro them to kind of get into the proper position. What is this? When it gets to the bull stage, the attacker really is favored because T1 pork does nothing. I'm not sure what pork is. Pork. I have no idea what that means, but yeah, these bulls are super strong, and he has a lot on the battlefield. We can take a look again at the unit counts. Looks like he's got 10 bulls, 2 stouts, 3 Janus here on the bottom side of the map. I don't think he's really like forming up any units in the top side, but he's got a couple of bulls here on my side of the map that I think I'm doing a decent job of shrews away. He's got 4 bulls, 2 Janus, and I've got 7 Janus, 2 Jaguars I was able to res from his previous run by. And I think I have some of these res bots kind of going in and issuing some orders. We can take a look. I've got some res orders here in the center. I've got, how many res bots do I actually have? So I've got 14 res bots on the board right now. Pretty happy with that so far. I don't see any res bots actually for Rock. And he's sitting on just one of these land. This is a really cool factory. He's got a lot of build power making these stouts kind of in the middle of the board. Yeah, and I would agree. These longer games are pretty interesting, and it is a factor of people getting better, playing more defensive, I suppose. Like in that T1 stage, it's so easy to spam LLTs and kind of lock up your side of the board, have radar coverage, prevent run-bys, get into position to do that. So really, I think the natural progression in this game will be to get to the, you'll see more T2 matches actually, which I'm pretty excited about. This is where you can get a good mixture of our unit compositions. We can see more airplay, which is something I feel like if I had the state of mind to incorporate air into this game, this is all new to me being 24 minutes into a macro game. So I didn't really have the chance to kind of, to do that in this game or have the game sense to do that. Sorry, I'm going to pause the game. Getting better at Comet. Mighty Sheep saying, if this guy plays well, if these guys play this well in other maps too, I'll be impressed. Okay, so I think what Mighty Sheep is saying is either we're playing on this map too much, or like other maps are more difficult to play on, so it can be harder to get to this T2 stage, like on a map like Ravaged. What are some other, like Theta Crystals? I think you could see more T2 matches on. Theta Crystals is a pretty cool map, I'd have to say, and definitely want to start hosting some other maps. It's just something you got to get out of your comfort zone practicing on these maps. So these bulls can actually run right over these walls, so perhaps I was wrong about using them at this later part of the game. So I'm trying to push here on the top side of the map. Looks like I'm just going to pause real fast and look at these armies. So there's 12 bulls in the middle for Rock, 22 stouts, and 5 Janus. I really like these Janus. They do a lot of splash damage, and let's see my army composition. 15 bulls, 22 maces, 1 stout, and 2 Janus. So I think one of the big takeaways here is just to stop making these Janus. And I run into a big group of LLT here on the top side of the map, and Rock's own bulls. Perhaps I was over ambitious. Really at this stage in the game, I should have stayed here, I think, with that unit composition, and then focused on retaking these mexes, adding LLTs, adding radar signatures, and then moving these. There's like there's no mass here on the top side of the map anymore. Yeah, just a little bit of mass here on the top side. I should have focused on securing this top left quadrant and then moving these res bots down to the middle of the map where we can actually see a battle is starting to form. So kind of anticipating the next stage of the game would be, the next important part of this map would be winning this battle and contesting the reclaim field that's about to pop up. So I'll unpause the game. This is definitely a mistake, kind of pushing into this side. It's like I don't need to push there. I think with proper radar coverage and scouting, I could have known that would have been like a bad attack to make. We can see there's a lot of beamer turrets and he has a lot of units already in position. So that was a bad push. I left a lot of reclaim on his doorstep and lost a big portion of my standing army I could have used to just kind of to defend that lane while focusing on taking the middle. So kind of would have taken the pressure off of me not having to worry about defending this area for defending this top left corner for the next couple minutes. So I'll unpause the game. Felt pretty good about this battle, actually. I knew I had more bulls than him, I'd say. Still stepping a little too far forward. Bad micro. Yeah, I agree. That was pretty bad micro. I should have just stayed in a line. Archives might be getting a Starlight since he has a fusion. The Starlight, I think, is the actual... Yeah, it's his mobile cannon, which... What is that mass difference? So these are 1200 mass, and they have pretty great range, and I haven't really had a chance to experiment those too much in a T2 unit composition. Rock looking okay at the time. Yeah, that was bad micro. I'd have to agree with you there. But I have secured this reclaim field. I got a lot of res bots here, and I'm not sure, like... Mighty Sheep's agreeing with Zelo about the Starlight. I think... I'm really unsure about should I be resing these units or reclaiming them. I have a lot of mass storage I can use, and this is a contested reclaim field. He has a lot of Janus. Jeez Louise. 4 Janus, 10 bulls, 13 stouts to my 7 bulls, 5 maces. I'm trying to like see this is the outcome of that bad throw I had on the top left side of the map. He's once again able to get into this top left side of the map, and it can be really difficult dealing with these run bys because there's just like 2 lanes you can run through once you get into this top left side. You can kind of threaten the back of the main base from this angle. So that would have such a bad mistake, honestly. I think this is kind of stacking up to contributing. But to answer my own question about should I be resing or reclaiming here, I think I should just be reclaiming this. It'd be much better off kind of getting that mass back into my economy. 10 Starlights. Sorry, what is he saying? Okay, they're just commenting on these outrageous amounts of Starlights that should be put on the board. Probably need a couple more fusion for time. Yeah, and I think this is where like Rock or Mighty Sheep was saying, kind of at this T2 stage in the game, attacking can be better than in the T1 stage, especially if you're able to find those T2 mexes, which he was able to shave off a few of them. I had lost like 1, 2, 3 T2 mexes here in the middle. What are these units? These mobile artillery. That's a T2 already, huh? They've macroed better. They'd actually have pit bulls and stuff. Pit bulls. Darn, sorry, I'm not really sure what that pit bull is actually. I want to say that is the T1 mine layer. See, I'm curious to know how many T1 mexes I actually, or T2 mexes I have. I just lost 3 of them. I have, let me go to my player view. Can I, oh shit, sorry, I'm not really able to select those. Is it Control Z? Okay, so I have 10 T2 mexes, and it looks like Rock has 14. So yeah, a lot better economy than I am. And is he pulling ahead on statistics wise? So yeah, he's up by 20k mass at this point. So really that's there's like 14,000 mass right here. Okay, so definitely can see where I'm falling behind is just not upgrading my mexes. You can see I've lost a big portion of the map right here. I don't have these mexes in the top left corner capped. I think if I was really able to focus on securing this top left portion of the map, defending run bys, and capping these to T2 mexes, that would have kind of put me on even ground with Rock at this stage in the game. So looks like Rock's starting to get these res bots out on the field, and we can see he's starting to reclaim these or res these units in the top side of the board. And I guess making the T1 at this stage in the game is not good, for sure. These guys need to play more 8v8s. Okay, Mighty Sheep, I'll definitely take you up on that. Get a chance to see or add more experience in this later part of the game. So I want to say this was a little bit of a throw from Rock. He threw a lot of units away on my side of the map, but he was able to take out 1, 2, 3 more T2 mexes. Rock has a lot of mass in the bank, 11k mass right now. So let's see, there. Looks like these guys are drawing on the board right now. And then this is a big mistake I was talking about. I kind of pushed forward with my T2 army, and this was just super bad. What does this note say? If there's an army of reserves here, yeah. So this is probably the critical mistake in the game, really. So even though he's up by 30k mass, and that's a function of course, all these extra T2 mexes he has, but I mean, what is the mass right here in the center? It's like, well, there's 15,000 mass right there, of course. And if I had focused on just, I mean, this is where I threw the game, obviously. It's like I tried running forward with all these bulls here. I thought I could kind of maybe get to his factory and take that out, but really I should have switched these T1 factories into resbot production and then focused on reclaiming this, because there's even more reclaim on the bottom side of the map here. I mean, there's another 3,000 mass here. I could have got these two mexes back online. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bulls here, and I feel like that would have been the play. And we can see like how far behind on like actual map control I am. We can just kind of draw a line in the middle here. There's a split map, and we can see how much red is on red side of the map, how much blue is on blue side of the map, and that's really just what you don't want to see this far behind. Kind of the white T1 already note pit bulls. I was actually able to D-gun. Oh, the carnage. Okay. Rock seems to be surviving. I wasn't really going for a snipe there, so that really wasn't my intention behind that push. So I'm kind of pushing him off the reclaim field. I was able to deal with these units in the top left side. He's kind of encroaching, putting up these turrets. I'm not really sure what pork is, honestly, guys, so if he could fill me in, that'd be nice. I'd be throwing turret. Yeah, turrets are really great at this stage in the game because, I mean, they can put that build power into actually reclaiming these and repairing your units on the front line. So I think a couple forward construction turrets are something I could start incorporating into my play. And I'll have to, I wish that wreckage field would be dealt with already. Yeah, so, and this is something I need to like be more focused on. It's like, what, at this stage in the game, where like when you move past split map and armies start trading and interacting with each other, it should be more about, I guess my main focus should be using these resbots and getting the value from the resbots. It's like, because that's how you're going to get an advantage over your opponent. Like hypothetically, say we were both like macroing evenly. It's like we had the same amount of T2 mexes at this stage in the game, had the same metal income. It's more or less like, well, you're going to get an advantage from either rezzing these units that you're trading or reclaiming them off the battlefield. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. So yeah, really just focusing on this reclaim at this stage in the game, and perhaps maybe looking at a way to incorporate like air scouts into the army or gunships even. Rock's not even trying to queue more nanos. Rock is making this game by refusing to increase his build power. Yeah, so Rock has got a lot of income. He has 12,000 mass in the bank, 3,000 power income, and could be spamming, like Mighty Sheep is saying. Could be really increasing his build power. So adding on nano turrets here. Oh, he's got 2 advanced vehicle plants. That's cute. Really increasing this build power, and he has no construction in his main base. I kind of fell behind too because like as the game progressed, I I was like peeling off these construction vehicles to go and like recap these mexes, adding on LTs and radars and such, and I ended up running out of construction bots here in the main base. I think I ended up producing some here out of these like bot lab factories, and really, I think really one of my main misunderstandings about this T2 part of the game was like continuing to make these T1 units, and I'm just kind of like donating metal in a sense. And those could have been like vehicle plants adding on more construction vehicles and those mine layers, and like using the mine layers to like secure these areas. Game's kind of slowing down. I'm deflecting this run by on the top side, and we can see like the game is relatively even. I mean, he's only up by 30k mass 35 minutes into the game. I mean, there's probably that much mass on the board. For example, I could be focusing on reclaiming, and I think I finally switched to like reclaiming here in the center with these res bots. So decent trade here in the center. And okay, so we see the starlight out. I'm gonna pause the game and just kind of take a look at this the range on this unit. So huge range on this bad boy. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. This is the range. For those of you who can't see that red circle, that's about the range on the starlight. So we can see like how well these could be used to defend these reclaim field. You can put the T2 units in front of them, have these slightly far behind, and really protecting those res bots or giving you a chance to like contest these reclaim fields. Mighty Sheep is saying Rock keeps kind of like all army selection. That's a big no-no. You should unhotkey that button. I guess it's Control Z for select all units. Can't say that I've had a chance to use that in this game, although I've abused it in StarCraft 2, so I'm a shameless all army hotkey kind of guy. So Rock's finally able to kind of push me off this reclaim field. He's got a big army here, 16 Janus, 4 Bulls. So many Janus here. So finally using this AoE, and I think this is a good play, honestly. Let me know in the chat if you think, or in the comment section if you think Janus are useful to be creating at this T3 stage or T2.5 stage in the game. See another big battle here in the middle. I'm not sure if I end up winning this engagement here. 43k metal on the field right now, and I've finally moved on to these Razorbacks, and I want to say this might have actually been to my own detriment here. I was like, okay, so they're more metal intensive. I have a lot of metal in the bank. I have a decent metal income, but I think just kind of spamming these Marauders kind of early game, or this early part of the T3 stage, would be maybe a little better. They have 600 range, so they have more range, a lot less DPS, but a lot more speed. So I think the speed would be better on this map, especially if like Rock's been so good about counterattacking. Getting these units in position where I need them would kind of be like more important than perhaps the heavier T3 units. But then again, like this is the reclaim field is in the middle, and this is what I should be focusing on, like securing and contesting, right? So perhaps that's something that could be up for discussion. Which T3 unit would be better to kind of start producing? Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like air could have been a lot better spent. Look how much build power this is. Okay, so finally producing more build power here for Rock, and this is where he starts kind of shooting ahead. He's got so many units on the battlefield, and I really start losing here. Kind of standing army wise, he keeps pushing me farther and farther back. He's got secure this reclaim field. Some nice amount of Rizzers, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So Rock was able to spend all his income here and really kind of take the game. You see how much he's like shaving off. He's killing all these T2 mexes here on the bottom left side of the map, shaving off a lot of my eco, and I'm pretty much reduced to like my little circle here on the map. He's pretty much got me completely surrounded. T3, well, yeah, T3 defending raids. I suppose like that shouldn't be using these T3 units to, you know, kind of counter these raids. Or if I was using those faster T3 units. Yeah, and this is about the end of the game, so he kind of overwhelms me with units here. So what are the big takeaways, honestly? I'll pause the replay, maybe share my final thoughts before we leave this game. So what are the big takeaways from like playing a 35-minute, 40-minute macro game? It's more or less like, obviously defending the run buys, but really like once we start trading armies in the middle of the map, it's more important to contest these big reclaim fields and either rezzing the units or reclaiming them into your own economy. So it's like hypothetically, if we're both equal on macro, we've been upgrading our to T2 mexes, and we have about approximately the same metal income in a split map scenario. The real focus, or the way we get an advantage in these 1v1 matches, would be definitely to start reclaiming these, controlling these reclaim fields and like denying that mass income or reclaim to your opponent. So if y'all have any thoughts you'd like to share on this map, or am I missing anything from this commentary? Do you enjoy these videos? Just give me some feedback. I'd really appreciate it. And hopefully y'all learned something and can appreciate learning from my mistakes. So hopefully this helped you all out some, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.